When you get ready to prepare your webbing, you need to sew it into a continuous loop that has no twists. So bring the end over and overlap it about the same distance as the width so that you have a square right there. And then we're going to stitch that down. So I put both pieces into the sewing machine and I'm putting it right where this end underneath is just to the right side of the needle. So put it straight like that and then put the presser foot down and put the needle down, and you're going to sew to the other side and stop just before the edge. So I'm gonna go one more stitch there. Then with the needle in the down position, lift up your presser foot and turn it 90 degrees and then stitch it to the next corner. And I use my hand to help me get it into the right position. Lift it up and turn it again. And then go and walk it to the final stitch there and get it in the right position. And then complete the square. And then when you get to the first place where you started, then lift up the presser foot and turn it so that you're in a position to sew to the diagonal edge. So when you're sewing diagonally, keep your eye focused on the corner down here and stitch right over to the other corner. And then re-stitch across one side along the same line that you sewed before. End in the corner, lift up the presser foot and then aim to sew an X in the center of the square. And again, keep your eye focused on the corner, and as you stitch to it, aim for hitting the corner. And then once you've gotten to there, you can lift it up and take it out. Okay, so I'm gonna just, it's not going down, but I'll just pull that out. And trim your threads on both the top side and the bottom side. And now we're ready to pin your webbing onto your gym bag. When you have your webbing, this X that you've just sewn is the 12 o'clock point. Bring it down and find the opposite end and take a pin and just mark the 6 o'clock point halfway. And then these will both go on the bottom of your gym bag. So take your gym bag, and if you don't have a crease that shows you the bottom of your gym bag, you can press that in, but this one has a crease right there. So I'm going to put this so that I choose the side that looks better. I think this side looks better, so I'm going to put this up. And I want the X where I sewed it to be right on the bottom of the gym bag. So I'm going to put that there like that. And I'm going to line it up and put pins in, either just above or below, because it's hard to pin through double layers. And pin the gym bag to the webbing to the gym bag, sorry about that. And then come up to the top here and pin right at the top edge of the pocket. And on the other side, take this pin that marks the 6 o'clock part, bottom, and pin that right in the crease, marking the bottom edge of the gym bag. And straighten that up. Put another pin at the top. And then come down. So for a total of 6 pins at the top and the middle and the bottom. And again, pin at the bottom dots here and go through the webbing, through the fabric. And you may need to lift it up like this to help you get it to go through, because sometimes it's really tough to pin through the webbing. And then on the other side, 3 more pins. And it helps to lift it up when you're putting that last pin through. Okay, when you start to sew your webbing onto your gym bag, you're going to start where this bottom dot is, right next to the pocket, and you're going to sew the square, rectangle, and then an X and go down. So let's do that right now. Okay, and I get in position. Maybe there's some little ridges. One ridge is about a little less than 1/8 of an inch, maybe 2 millimeters from the edge, and start putting my needle down. Then I'm going to stitch across to the other side. And again, stopping a little bit before the edge of the webbing, lift it up with the needle in the down position, and then come up and stitch along the side. And this time the edge of the webbing goes to the inside edge of the plastic prong. And I don't sew over the pin, I take it out. And when it stops in the down position, I lift it up so that I can turn a right corner. And then come right across the top edge of the pocket. And then come down and make a rectangle. And again, if you can see, I'm sewing right in that end ridge. And I stop right where I started. And use the hand wheel to help you get that last stitch in place. Then turn it around and sew diagonally to the top corner. And again, always keep your eye on the target. Aim for the corner where you're sewing. And then reinforce the top edge and sew exactly where you sewed before. Then lift it up and sew diagonally to the other edge, or the opposite corner, right here, and keep your eye on the corner. And then lift it up, and now you're going to sew straight down all the way to the pin at the bottom here. Just aiming to sew in that edge ridge all the way down. Okay, let's do that. Stop before any pins and remove those, and then keep on sewing. And I want to sew right to where that end pin is. Then I'm going to make another box, rectangle shape, come across like I did up at the top, and make another rectangle following the dots that you've traced on from the pattern. And be careful not to get anything caught underneath, or you'll end up having to rip it out. Sew across, and then make your diagonal X again. Reinforce it across the bottom edge. Stitch right on top of your previous stitching, and then come up diagonal. Again, and now you're going to stitch straight up all the way on the inside to the top of the pocket. And on that last edge, you want to just go along the same side of the rectangle that you sewed at the beginning. Push your needle up and lift it up. Remember that you'll need to trim it from the top side. end where you started, and then the bobbin threads on the back at the top and the bottom. And that's how you do the webbing. And you're going to repeat that same process, making the box, going to the end and coming back up on the other side over here as well.